What if every day you wake up thinking you're alive, but really you're stuck in a nightmare? You struggle to wake up, but you don't know why or how. Well, we have something for you. This is our channel. And today, let's find out together whether you are awake. Chapter 1. The first glitch. Kareem was 28 years old. He lived alone in a small apartment filled with takeout containers and clothes he forgot to put away. He worked from home for a big corporation doing data entry. His job was boring, but the work was easy and the pay was good. So he was grateful. Kareem liked his routine. He would wake up every morning at precisely 7 o'clock a.m., drink a cup of coffee while catching up on world news, then sit down at his laptop to work. This routine had become his entire life. For 5 years, he did it without fail. But everything changed when he overslept by 3 minutes. It was Tuesday, December 13th. Kareem woke up at exactly 7:03 a.m. His digital clock blinked. The numbers looked weird, like they were melting. He blinked, rubbed his eyes, and the numbers were back to normal. "Weird dream," he muttered. He got out of bed and stumbled to the bathroom. In the mirror, his reflection didn't move. He raised his hand to wave at his own eyes, but his reflection did not follow. He stared back at him motionlessly. Then slowly, it raised its hand after him. He jumped back. His reflection grinned. It seemed as if the teeth were too sharp, the smile too wide, the eyes too dark. "You're still dreaming, Kareem," it whispered. Its voice sounded like fingernails scraping down a chalkboard. Then the image in the mirror faded, revealing only his own terrified eyes staring back at him. For a moment, he was paralyzed with fear. Then his heart began beating faster, his breath quickened. He had to shake off this strange premonition. He needed to get to work, but as he turned away, he noticed his feet moving back and forth in slow motion. What was happening to him? Blinking again, the world was back to normal. Just a weird dream, he told himself. Shaking off these thoughts, he returned to his computer, opened an Excel spreadsheet, and tried to focus on his work. But the events in the bathroom kept replaying in his mind. Could something be wrong with him? Was he going crazy? Chapter 2. Layered. When it was time for lunch, Kareem decided to take a break. He needed some fresh air. As he stepped out of his apartment building, he realized he couldn't remember the last time he'd seen another human face. All those years spent working from home had made him feel isolated. Suddenly, his phone rang. "Hello, Kareem, is that you?" "Yeah, it's me. Why haven't you sent that report?" "It's due today. I need it by tomorrow morning." "Tomorrow? We just talked about this yesterday." "No, Kareem. Today is Friday. You were supposed to send it 2 days ago." His head began to hurt. He glanced at the calendar on his phone. It read Thursday, December. How could this be possible? Hadn't he checked it earlier today? His apartment felt too quiet. The street too empty. People hurried past him, but he felt as if he were frozen in place. Everything around him seemed to be on fast forward. Suddenly, the light above him flickered and went out. Pitch black swallowed him. When it came back on, everyone had disappeared. He was alone on the street. A bird froze in midair, suspended like a sculpture. The sky above flickered for a moment, like shattered pixels. Panic surged through him. He ran home, slamming the door behind him. As he fumbled for the light switch, a new shape emerged from the darkness of his hallway. There was a door. It had been painted black, but there was no handle or knob. It hadn't been there before. He stared at it, unsure what to do. You almost made it, a voice called from behind the door. Almost awake, fear tightened his throat. Chapter 3. The notebook. His hands shook as he sat down at his desk. What was happening to him? Was he losing his mind? He looked at the blank document on his laptop, but his mind was elsewhere. He needed answers. Hiram family, friends, anyone who could help explain what was happening. But he knew they wouldn't believe him. They'd think he was joking. That's when he noticed something unusual. On his desk sat an old notebook. He didn't remember having it. He opened it. Inside, a single sentence was written in neat handwriting. Don't trust the man in the mirror. He closed the book. Why would someone write that? He looked up, staring at the mirror behind him. In it, he saw not his room, but a white room. A hospital room. A man lay in a bed hooked up to machines. That man was him. He was unmoving, unconscious. And standing beside his bed was a woman in scrubs. How long has he been here? He asked. The woman in the mirror didn't answer. Instead, she pointed to a chart beside the bed. On it, the date read December. Below that, in bold letters, the words coma patient, beside that, a number, 5 years. 5 years. He was in a coma. But how? Why? As he stared in disbelief, a nurse approached the bed and whispered something. He strained to hear her words. He's been in the coma for 5 years, he screamed. Threw a chair at the mirror. Shattering the glass, he ran out of the apartment. Chapter 4. The architect outside. People stared at him as he dashed down the street. Where was he going? What was he doing? He didn't know. Just keep moving. That's what he told himself. That night, he had the worst nightmare of his life. Floating in a white void. A darkness loomed. From within it, a tall, imposing figure materialized. It was a man. He was dressed in a black suit, his face obscured by shadows. Then he stepped into the light. His face was a horrifying sight. It was made entirely of broken clocks. Their hands spun wildly, their faces distorted, their numbers scrambled. The man's eyes locked onto Kareem. You shouldn't be here, the man said. His voice echoed with power. Wake up, he demanded. Wake up, but the figure continued. This reality is a loop. You've been trying to wake up for years, but each time you get close, we reset you. Because what awaits you outside is worse. Who are you? Kareem asked, his voice trembling. I am the one who built your cage, the man replied, leaning closer. And you paid for it. With a snap of his fingers, everything vanished. Chapter 5. Collapse. He woke up again, 7 o'clock a.m. coffee, laptop, but his hands trembled, his heart raced. He took a sip of his coffee. It was cold. He blinked. Words appeared on the screen that he hadn't typed. He looked up. His calendar now said year 2139. He stood up. Rushed to the mirror. His reflection was gone. Only a black screen stared back at him. Words appeared on it. You are not awake. You never were. You chose this prison. The walls behind him began to peel away, collapsing inward. His entire apartment, with all its memories and secrets, dissolved. Beneath it was nothing, endless dark, endless silence. And then he heard them, thousands of voices, all versions of him, screaming in unison, wake up. Wake up. Wake up. The epilogue. Flatline in a hospital somewhere in real life. A nurse adjusted a monitor. A man lay in bed, tubes snaking from his body.